everybody. Welcome to Enough Talk. We're doing our Thunderous, Acclaim, whole set
You
rundown.
gotta hold on. Okay, so hold on.
No, I liked
Yeah.
that one. I
Oh
liked it.
yeah,
I
I
wanted
was.
you to keep going.
Every now and then I come up with a winner here. Yeah. So Paul and Jesse and Holdings. That's pretty cool. I don't know if
Holdings are
anyone.
actually my favorite card type. I like playing decks with lots of holdings, as seen through what I was playing in Ivory, my like 2026 holding monstrosity that killed all the guys.
We go deep on Holdings. Like we spend a lot of time every set analyzing the Holdings. They're
Now,
both
amusingly, I don't spend any time analyzing the like gold production efficiency curves.
no,
I
no, yeah,
just
no, that's the kind of guys we are. Not ideal.
I like enchantments. I like like holdings are my favorite part of L5R because L5R is all about like building your fort, like having
Yep.
this incremental advantage of putting these little pieces out that stay out and do stuff and change the complexity of the game. And I think holdings are the biggest, most visible piece of that. They're the thing that separates L5R from a game like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever that goofy L5R Vice Schwartz that Jim Chatham plays.
Yeah.
And so I love holdings. Let's talk about them. The first one is Architect, which I do not love. It's a
Yeah, because they're gonna
fortification
kill it with
holding.
Solar Assassin, right? You can call out Assassin
You can
and
call out
blow
Assassin
it.
Architect, which is a huge setback. But I don't like Architect, but I do like Architect. I like what it's trying to do. I like that I can recruit the holding and put it wherever I want. It helps me build
Yep.
my like giant super my Tower of Babel, and
Yep.
then you have to come and get it, and you can't, and take that.
At some point, we may be forced to reevaluate our sort of general distaste and hatred of fortification gold. This card doesn't make me do that, but we're getting closer and closer to that point where I'm forced to like go back and like, hey, what do these fortifications do? I wonder if I
Well,
look
I kind of keep a mental list of all the fortifications because as a
right.
kid I liked them a lot,
Well,
and
I mean, I loved them when I could get them for 4 less gold. That was always
right.
a big
Yeah,
hit.
that was really good. The thing about fortifications, so there's two good defensive fortifications. The Muragishi, the one that's +1 province strength for each
Yeah,
fortification attached, and Defensive Memorial, which is +2 province strength flat. And
sure.
then there's one other really good fortification that's a 0 gold that makes a range 3 attack at that province. So the idea is that like you can get a 20 forest province with like 3 printed ranged attacks that you can move your guys in and out of. And a card like Architect and Caillou Builders lets you get to that point. Problem still is
Yeah,
that
and
you,
we've seen stuff like there's was it 20 Festival has that like the labor crew, which gives you sort of like a Ring of Earth type effect at the one province,
yeah,
and there's the plain library that's the expendable one that's like when it gives you a little bit of fate deck manipulation. Like there are holdings that do stuff now.
yeah. There are fortifications that act like old timey fortifications that give you ranged attacks and give you abilities, and those
Right.
are really good. I feel like there's something there. The thing is that it's all your eggs got to be in one basket, and you got to be playing honor. My thought is that with Coronation Festival now, there's some
Hmm.
juju to being all your eggs in one basket. I can play out of Phoenix and go first, and have the guy that lets me buy up my fortifications from the bin, so I can flush aggressively early and get more province strength later.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually I mean I wasn't being flip. I'm like I'm very much I'm sort of there will probably come a point where the number of fortifications, the saturation of fortifications does construct a meaningful deck. Maybe not a super top tier one deck, but some good
Yeah, yeah.
competitive.
Well,
And,
they're pushing
and
it, man. Like
yeah,
fortifications are supported.
this gets us closer and closer. I'm still probably not going to dive into that particular pool quite yet.
I'm willing
It's
to do
something
it.
that I yeah, I mean I mean if you want to, let's rock and roll with it. But I do think that this is good enough for that kind of deck. And I do think that, we're finally have seen a flat line of production where it's like, here's another 3 for 3 holding. There's tons of those now. But like the fortification gold is just as good as normal gold. And then if you can get all the upside, you're generating that incremental advantage we talk about because your holdings are just doing more for you.
Hey, hey. Ashigara Farmland. This
Hey,
is
this is
pushed,
the one
pushed,
I love.
pushed, pushed, pushed. Yeah.
So, I mean, I play Contemplative Shrine, I play
Temple of the
the
Heavenly
Crab,
Crab.
Devil of the God. Like, this is just easier. And, as a
It's,
spider player, I'm like, hey, courtesy, sure. I
yeah,
mean, I'm going
ooh,
to start at
woohoo, yeah.
-1 with that. Like, sure. And so Just
That's all I have to
just
say
super
about this
push.
card.
The farm, I guess, so it'll get blown up to colonial conscripts from time to time, but I'll suck it up.
Yeah, so
Uh,
farms are super pushed, and we got to remember that expansive rice paddies is still in. So the one that after you buy a thing, you can flip it face up. Like
yep,
farm gold is real. The
yep.
problem is there are two cards in the set. The Oni one that makes a fear effect, and then the one you just talked about, the Ashigaru conscripts that get you for playing farms. And it's not clear to me. Like Ashigaru conscripts is a real card. I play it in a lot of decks. It's got an awesome ability to go for 2/4s, -3 on a samurai. It's a very, very good card. And if you get to blow up one of their holdings, it's potentially game winningly strong.
So I
Especially
think the idea is if you play enough farms and they're good enough, and maybe you stay away from the 4/4 bountiful, then you can maybe suck up one hit. You probably can never suck up 2 hits. That's
right.
probably
The problem is you always play that card in triplicate, and that farms seem to be, especially like with cards like this, we want them in go second factions. Like if Spider plays this and you play against Lion and Lion plays an Ashigaru conscripts for their first attack on 3, you're done. Like pick them up.
Yeah, I mean it's really tough. You're absolutely right. And the nature of farms decks as you go on, I think in the abstract and the deck construction, you build the deck first and sort of see if the environment hates it out. But it's a very real concern.
And like yeah, if it
But
was
that
something
doesn't take
like
away from Ashigaru Farmland being an awesome
yeah, this
card.
card
I
is
mean,
just
look,
stupid and
I
pushed, and
can
I'll
I can
splash it
bow
in.
it. I can bow it to my Ashigaru Sensei and make a 0/1 chi guy. Yeah, can I
That's
interest
the
you in
best.
that?
Can I interest you?
What else? What else am I gonna do with 2 gold? What? Eh?
It's perfectly designed. It's ugh. All right, so this card's really awesome. Play it unless everybody in your group is playing Ashigaru
So,
conscripts.
and then we move on to bamboo irrigation. This is not a bamboo harvesters. Oh, if wishing me so.
I'm gonna
But
slide off camera for this one because it does. The word bamboo makes me think about bamboo harvesters, and boy, do I get sad.
also, so let's get Flavor Judge Judy out here. Doesn't this feel like it should interact with dueling in some way? I mean, look at that
Look at that
beautiful.
Sakura tree, man. Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, well, the problem is that the tree. See, the thing is, the reason I
The
don't like this
blossoms
art.
aren't flowing.
The reason I don't like this art isn't because of that there should be a duelist in the picture. It's because the tree is more prominent than the irrigation. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I had to look at this 2 or 3 times to realize it's not just like a fence over there on the left.
Yep.
And like what you're buying, like I think I'm buying the tree, and
Yes,
what you're
I
really
want
buying is like the
the
bland
fence.
brown thing on the side that you can't really
When you
build
go
it.
onto like a real estate website and like you see this really nice, like you see a house on a really nice lot, but then you realize like none of the lot you saw was yours. That's all like
That's
your
right. That's the
neighbor.
neighbor's lot, like the thing in the
Look
corner, the
at
little
that!
shack
Look
with
at
the
that
beer bottles
beautiful
outside.
yard. None of it is yours. That's why we don't have fences over here. So, but bamboo irrigation. So we were just talking about farms and the farm scheme, and like in that scheme, this card is sort of a large farm, which is great. So
Eh,
you
I don't
know,
know, man. When is this card better than Deep Harbor?
okay. When you wanna make a 0/4
Yeah.
guy,
So that's my problem with this card is that Deep Harbor exists and it smothers this card. And
it's a
like,
farm, so like it works with your card that buys farms and lets you flip. It
sure, sure,
works,
sure.
you
But
know.
on the other hand, I don't see a situation in which you're playing only farms. Like you're gonna
We
play
still
your
play
clan
it.
holding.
We still play a ton of Deep Harbor. We still play a lot of questionable market. We're still in the minority. But I mean, I feel like
Or
having
even
one for
bookkeeper.
having one. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And
You're
one
right.
for one's a really
So,
crowded area. Like I love a lot of
but
utility board
that's not
cards.
how you build a deck, Jesse. Jesse, you build a deck by saying, "I'm going to play farms," and then just put in everything that says farm. That's what you do. That's how good deck building works.
I see that
That's just
you've
good
put
deck
your. I
building.
see you've moved your rook to king's pawn 9, king's bishop 9. That means checkmate.
That's I got you, man. It's just good deck building, It's like you
All right,
play this
well,
farm, another farm, then everything's a farm.
let's talk about another holding here. Borderless Field. This card is absolute
This
trash, and let
guy,
me talk
I
about
gotta
why.
tell you, this card got me so good. Like, just it
It
got me
really is. It's
so
like it's
good.
a really trolly card because you're reading it after the action recruits an
Yeah, it's
Ashigar
a
person.
2 for 2,
Create
and
a
it's like
guy.
okay,
2 for 2. Create a guy. Conscript personality.
right.
Period. Wait.
So
Period. Periods indicate the end of sentences. That means there's
I
nothing
screwed
after
it
it,
up.
right?
I screwed it up so many times. First off, the first time I read it, I thought it was like the other one. It's like you just buy it and get a guy. I'm like, oh, it's a 2 for 2 and makes a guy. Like, no, it's not that good. It's like, okay, I have to buy a guy, but then I buy it. So I make another little guy for 2 gold. It's like another use of my sensei. I'm like, okay, that's good. I didn't even register destroy this holding. Like, my brain wouldn't
It
allow
refused.
me
It
to
refused
like
to acknowledge that
see
it
that.
existed.
Like, because there's just no possible way they would do such a thing. And then there it
And then
is.
there it
And
is.
I'm just like, okay, and I'm done. I will say it's nice that, nope, it's not nice at all.
There's
It's
nothing
just,
nice about it. Don't even go there.
there's a mean holding.
Um, the fact that it's a 2 for 2 as well is really tough. 2 for 2s have been squeezed out. The first article I ever wrote on Enough Talk was about that,
Yep.
and I still reference people back to it because it's still a thing that people should care about. Like there's no space for 2 for 2s, and we'll see there are some very, very good 2 for 2s that I will be trying to play in this set. And I think design has recognized they need to be above the curve to get there. This looks like something from Gold Edition. Like this is just embarrassing. And when would you ever want to blow up one of your holdings for a Zero Force personality?
But you
Certainly
need to
in
get
this
some
environment where you
conscript
can't do
so that
anything
you
with
can
Zero Force
bow a bunch
personality.
of them to make a ranged attack and then not
Right.
have any force. So,
And like there's
I guess
almost a deck around like not playing the Sensei so that you can like get a bunch of zero guys and then play Oath of
did
Fealty.
you. I mean, I feel like you didn't put enough like quotation marks around almost. I feel like we need to take a moment and like really highlight
Yeah,
the
okay.
almost nature
I
of
tried,
that.
man. You know, my job
I
in these
mean,
videos is to try to give the people some options.
sure, no,
This is not
absolutely.
one. Let's talk about barracks. So
Yeah,
we
this is
have
General's Hatamoto for commanders.
Nixon's back.
Only you have to be opposed this time, so not nearly as
So yeah,
good.
it's
A
terrible.
fine one for one.
It only gives one
Not
force.
terrible. It's just not gonna get played. Like it's not gonna get played. You're not. There's just better, man. Like
Okay. I
can't
mean,
find
I
better,
don't know.
man. I
Like
can't.
force generate. I mean, I don't think we should be so flip about force generating holdings. Like we've played Temple of the Elements, you know,
You're right.
and that's +1 force on a guy if and only if he has like keywords and spells and stuff. This is just flat out. You're opposed, get a force. You're opposed, get 2 force. And force generating holdings are some of the most powerful things that you can be in. We learned that last set. Now, Family Dojo, this ain't. But
Yep.
2 force on a commander, man, like I think that's something.
If I could do it unopposed, I'd actually kind of be on top of it. But I just feel like when I'm having an opposed battle, gaining an extra. But you're right. I mean, people played heavy dojo and
I mean,
stuff
when you're
like
in a
that.
opposed battle, gaining 2 force ain't nothing. Like, what are you like?
I
Well, don't turn your nose up at that. Like,
I
what are you
agree,
doing
but
instead
I
of
have to
that?
gain 2 force by having an opposed commander with a follower, and I just feel like now I'm putting a lot of setup into turning my holding into gain 2 force. And I mean, I can do better, man. There are better options.
Okay, but on the flip side,
I could
there's
I
commanders
could just
everywhere, and
blow
you're
up my
playing followers
holding and get a
anyway.
ring or something, like
Right. I mean, I agree that 1-for-1 space is crowded, but I don't agree that this card is not worth consideration.
I said it was okay. You were the one who said it was terrible.
I didn't say it was
Right?
terrible. Did I say it was terrible at the
Roll back
gate?
the camera, everybody.
All right. Well, sometimes I do that. You know, I say
So,
things and then I don't mean them. I
hey, and
exaggerate for I'm superfluous, whatever. Daikura, it's a 3 for 3, it gives you +1 holding. Hey, guess what? You don't have to play voice anymore. You don't have to play traveling merchant anymore. You just get this. It's a 3 for 3 with a red that you always want to play anyway with a random pushed ability stapled onto it. That's just cool. This card's
right.
stupid and I hate it because it's just like an auto include. It's like a painless auto include.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like at the end of your day, your holdings are still mostly there for gold generation, and any extra value you can get out of them is really nice, right? It really sort of helps. And like I compare this to something like Voices of Experience, like oh, it's garbage. It's like I'd rather just have this a million days a week, where it's just like yeah, lets me have a bigger hand.
And that
Um,
matters. You know, you can look at bigger hand and like, oh, who cares bigger hand? But it totally matters. Like
Absolutely.
having I have
I
9 cards
played
in
in
my last
honor
battle with
decks where,
Ace.
like, a lot of times in honor, if they don't attack you right away, you get sort of stuck with that one extra card or something. Or maybe you're
Absolutely.
playing Mantis and you want to just keep drawing out and just have a bunch more cards in your deck. Like this is a really solid card, and it helps you play the One Ring of Fudo. You can play. You can now have a total of 6 of this effect in your deck, where there's a 2/2 with the same
Yep, the
thing.
farmer's market, so you can have a
Now
bunch.
that's one thing I will comment on is that farmers market exists and nobody really plays it.
Because it's a two for
That's
two.
because it's a 2 for 2, not a 3 for 3, and then just the wiggle looks. But like the idea that I can just run those 6 cards now and have really big hand size is pretty cool for me.
Yeah, I love drawing cards, and there's enough ways to get cards in your hand in this set, in this environment, and then just having like a raw card advantage in a big battle is not nothing.
Absolutely.
Check out the flavor text though. So, besieged castles are rarely assaulted since, due to their layout, a direct assault is a dangerous affair. It's true. Whenever you're being direct assaulted, things get dangerous. It's
Nice.
like he's got 4 samurai with followers. Like, well, shucks. Like, here goes all my
Direct assault,
holdings.
you could blow up holdings with direct assault, man. It's a
Absolutely.
thing. So, another barracks in Garrison Hub. This is one of these follower transfer things. I played HEDA Advisor successfully in draft as like a limited movement. I don't think I care for it. I'm 2 for 2 in battle.
Yeah, I don't know what like heated advisor is good cuts and open. They bow your guy, you move your guy over and get value out of it. I don't know what it's doing in battle. I can't. I guess like if you misattach your stuff, you need to combine for a ranged attack or a fear effect over here. You can fix it. But my real answer to that is don't misattach your stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean I don't see it. I feel like there might be some kind of interaction I'm missing, but we have traveling running experience as a 3/4 follower for full gold that can just move itself around. Nobody plays it.
But it straightens when it moves around.
And it changed itself, yeah, and like that barely sees play. I just don't see what this is doing for me.
It's just like it's a card with an ability. It might as well be a philosopher. Now, hasty defenses. This is what I was talking about as a card I'm going to be playing a lot of in Spider. +1 province strength. I loved Merchant Atoll.
Yeah, I still love Merchant Atoll.
I still love Merchant Atoll. I'll still trying to play Merchant Atoll. This is just a straight better Merchant Atoll.
Yep.
And so you play them all together. Spider already has like 8 province strength. There's a 9 now, I forget. And now you just go higher and higher. Province strength is a real thing. Like the difference between 7 and 8, between 8 and 9, 9 and 10, like it gets headachy. Dex,
especially with like evil portents, the wimpy portents in this set or flashy techniques.
Absolutely, just throws all the province mana off completely.
Yeah.
Decks are built to take provinces on certain turns. Like you want to be attacking on 3. If you're not attacking on 3, your opponent gets a whole nother development turn, and you can only generate a finite amount of force on turn 3, and that usually ends up being 8, sometimes 9. If you can get above that with cards like Hasty Defensions and Merchant Atoll, you get a free turn, and it can really throw your opponent off his tempo. A lot of times players don't know what to do in that situation.
Exactly correct. And yeah, so I mean, I think this guy, and I think it can go on a bunch of honor decks as just a 2 for 2, and your province strength is low, but it can sort of creep up a little bit. And it's exactly like you said. It's a holding that just sort of is turned on. You don't have to do anything for it, and that's a good holding. That's the sort of thing you want your 2 for 2 to be.
The only ding against that it is a 2 for 2, so you've got to think through your gold scheme a little bit before you just toss it in.
Yeah.
But there might be enough good 2 for 2s now that you can start thinking about a scheme. Let's talk about Heisha. It's not a geisha.
You know what? There's not any of. There are no real good 6 for 5s. We've played Merchant Atoll and we like it, but 6 for 5 is just such a tough place to be in the format, and this card does not push you there. I mean, just
it almost does. I like this card a lot because it says draw
gold to get. But to get a follower from your discard,
it's very restrictive. And
there are other ways to get followers back, are there not?
There are a lot of ways to get followers back. There's the action, Preservation of Forces, that lets you pick 2 up out of the discard pile.
So Spirited Dispute gets you 2 for 4 gold. I mean, this thing just doesn't
hack it.
I mean, if we had some sort of recursive thing where every turn you blew this up, then it's only followers. You can't get anything else. I just don't get this.
This is the weapon artisan of draft. This set. This will be.
Yeah, I mean, you have some of these bigger gold for draft, right? I'm with you there.
But I'm saying this ability specifically of like just pick up your followers, like fight a battle, lose or whatever. They blow up your thing, pick it back up, or infinitely recurse your force. You're just happy.
Yep.
I don't know if it can ever make the cut constructed. Like 6 for 5 is tough, and we like Merchant Atoll because you don't have to do anything. It's just there.
I'm gonna strike call it. It can't make the cut.
It can't make the cut. Okay. Not even with Legion of Toshigoku to like blow itself up, draw it back, play it again, blow itself up.
So it's like 9 gold for a fate card.
Yeah.
I think we could do better, buddy. Okay. Isolated farmland. So what if all you had to do to get a guy is just buy a holding? Huh? Is that
it? Buy a 6 for 5 holding. I like that it also straightens your sense and allows you to pay an additional 2 gold.
That's right.
So you can actually get an 8 for 5 and get 0 4s. It's like the worst force to gold ratio in L5R, like 8 gold for 0 force. Like, got it.
Yep, thanks for that, and we're done. Also, by the way, if you thought it was bad that they were going to blow up your 3 for 3 farm, wait till they blow up your 6 for 5 farm.
Oh, I could make one more comment. You remember the promo card from late Emperor last arc? There was like a 6 for 5.
Lion,
It
yeah,
was a 6 for
something
5.
to
You
do
were
with
a lion went to a 5 for 5. It was like a colonial farmlands, yeah.
Sure.
So the last time we had a 6 for 5 farm, it recursively made 1 force followers and only cost 5 gold out of lion. This time it's isolated farmlands.
Different format. Mess all. We keep getting these barracks. And
the maximum here is just a head scratcher.
Right. So this is the payoff. It's if you have a bunch of different barracks, this one makes more gold.
You get a 3
So
for
the
5.
best it can be is a sort of Swana Dojo type card.
Well, it can be a 3 for 5, so it can be better than Swana Dojo.
Has +1 for each different title other than Mess Hall maximum +2 gold production. No, because it's a 3 for 2.
Right, they could be up to a maximum of +2. Oh, 3 for 4. Wow, math.
So
this card's terrible. Never mind.
Yeah, and it's just not like that's one of those questions where even in its very, very best, it's not good enough. And
different
so,
titles, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a bunch of barracks in this set. So I mean, that's a keyword.
Just saying.
I
think they should have just made it a 3 for 1. By the way, it had it count itself. That could have been they could have deleted some text.
I think you just make it a 3 for 3 that can grow exponentially larger.
I think the word is telescopically.
Yeah, don't make it unbounded, man. Don't give it. We hate these sort of
bounded cards. I just don't know why you're not allowed to have the payoff. Like this sort of stuff has never been environmentally deforming.
Let them if they want to build a deck with 15 different barracks and get Mess Hall out and buy one thing to make 7 gold. Like good for them, man. Like they earned it.
Congratulations, you built a bad School of Wizardry. Officer's Lodge. This is the card you were talking about.
You got Imperial. This is a payoff card for commanders. I don't know if it's much of a payoff, but okay. It's a 3 for 3 that lets you attach things.
Yeah, it's a 3 for 3, so it's
it's only really good when you use it on a reserve commander because you can just attach other things as an open now. So it's not that great. But
it makes it a 3 for 4.
Yeah, that's true. It gives you the 1 gold cost reduction. And I really do like it in concert with a reserve personality, to give a good follower reserve. I do think that's an interaction that is noteworthy. So.
I do think so. I think that this is just a generate force format. And now, I don't think you've sold me on why is it better than the kata.
It's just because to win a game of L5R, especially a game where you're playing sort of dudes and followers, you don't want your hand to get stuck with just sort of trash cards off the top of your deck.
Yeah. There's a lot of other reasons. It's sneakier and it brings protection on the guy right away. You can get me. You can get me on that. It's just that this is a very painless card to play if you have commanders and followers anyway. I feel like you just throw it in as an afterthought. And then if you have that reserve interaction, all the better.
And it's probably because I'm a sucker who still really likes reserve and sort of has to pull up for commands. It's probably my favorite holding in the set. Whereas your favorite holding in the set is probably this next card, which says draw a card.
Almost, yeah. This is just a reprint of Second City Dojo, but even worse. I don't know why they had to nerf Second City Dojo. Was that card so pervasively powerful that they couldn't have just reprinted it here?
Nope, but they wanted to make a new card. I don't want to say it's a chaser because I don't think it is. But
this is a rare. This is a rare too. I got nothing, man.
And 2 for 2. Sometimes the Second City Dojo in a format with a card aren't as good as the card.
If this had been a 1 for 1, maybe you could sell me. The problem, the really, what this card is just rub-ins because Temple of Destiny exists.
You look at Temple of Destiny. We talked about it.
Yeah, and you look at a card like this, and it's just, what are they thinking?
Right. If this is just a 2 for 2 with Destin, got it. I'm with you. Understand. Great card. And that's basically what it is, only you have to take an annoying open action to trigger it, and it may be worse. Which really just makes Temple of Destiny look all the more insane.
But no, it blows itself up.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It just makes Temple of Destiny look just so much over the power curve.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's the 4 for 4 fortification. Now, does that?
I love
Are we
this
starting
one.
to get there? Is this?
I love
Is
this
that?
one, man. I love this one because it's like fortification gold is terrible. It's so easy to destroy. Wait a second. What if when you destroy it, it progresses you to your victory condition? I and why is this a four for
Yeah.
four? Why isn't this a 0 for 0? Like a 1 for 1? Like
Well, because people like you want 4 for 4 as a gold holding, I guess.
but you want it to die. There's a huge tension in this. It's your turn one buy. You spend your entire turn one buying this holding.
You don't want it to die. It's just if it happens to die, you can go to the
But you
winning
do want it
game.
to die because you want to accelerate yourself to your victory condition. The goal of the game isn't to make gold. The goal of the game is to get to 40 honor. So if you're playing this
Yeah,
card, it's because you think you can leverage it in a way that will actively accelerate you towards winning the game.
there is a very big cognitive dissonance effect there. I agree.
And so I feel like this could have been like a cute holding if it were smaller, and there might have been some shenanigans in Phoenix maybe where it's like a cheap like 1 for 1 and you use the guy to keep buying it back so you get a couple honor every time they attack you. This way though, like it's big but you want it gone, but you don't want it gone. I don't like it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Is Benediction still in? Can I play this and blow it up myself with Benediction to gain 2?
Benediction is not in.
No. Seslavai. Moving on.
Hey, so we were talking about holdings that help you just accelerate towards your victory condition. This one is not a fortification, and it just sort of does its thing. Seems a lot better to me.
Seems a lot better. You buy it, you gain 1, you're done. You buy it, they lose 1, you're done. And the fact that these are all in 3 for 3s, it means that there's no cost to playing them. There was already dead slots in the 3 for 3 schemes. People were reaching for cards like traveling merchant and voice of experience. And those cards were basically blank. They were just karmics, and people tried to convince
Yep.
themselves that karmic was worthwhile. And it is, but it isn't. Cards like this though are definitely worthwhile. You just buy it
I
and
actually
gain
really
1.
like this card too, in that it sort of helps smooth out some honor requirement stuff for certain decks.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it really like if you're at 5 and you have a bunch of 6 honor rec guys, or you're like unicorn and you have all these like 5 honor rec dudes and you're starting at 4. Like it helps smooth some of that out, which is just a nice thing to have, right? It's nice to be able to sort of like, oh, I only need 1 little point of honor. I can play this little holding and that'll get me there. So, but also, triplicate and a bunch of honor decks because hey, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. Last one, Veterans Farmland. Battle open, straighten your guy. This is actually a really
Except
good one.
stop. We need to stop because it's not straighten your guy. It's straightening an Ashigaru file. Like, why can't it just be an Ashigaru card? Like, we have all these other conscripts and venerable
Yeah,
spirit
it
and all
doesn't
these
even
other
work with the Ashigaru cat scripts.
and it only work with Ashigaru followers. And it's like,
Yep.
come on, man. It's the veterans farmland. I feel like a veteran should know how to, like, encourage a soldier to get up and keep moving.
I don't know. It seems like a good card, and I said it's a good card because it doesn't bother to do it. It just straight like bang, straight in your guy.
Yeah, it's, Shrine of Hachiman is a good card, and so if you have a bunch of Ashigaru, it's just more Shrine to Hachimans. Like, I can sort of see that reasoning behind it. But, I mean, what Ashigaru follower we say? You've got archers, you've got spearmen, and you've got, I think,
front line fodder.
There's like one other one from this one. I know what I'm going to play it with, right? You're going to play it with the conscripting officer or whatever, so then they have like 6 holdings to straighten your conscripting officer, so like every turn you're making your little follower.
Ooh la la.
That's probably the best you can do.
Like, if that's the best I can do, then I won't be touching Ashigaru followers. Hey, I figured it out.
And we're done.
So that was the whole thing. There's some cool stuff. My beef with it is that they're really sticking to their guns with these 2 for 2s, and they still have no idea what to do with them. And like, as someone who likes playing utility holdings.
Yeah, I wonder if they sort of have this idea that 2 for 2s are better than they really are. I think maybe it's
if they think that they're not building L5 decks.
Yeah.
It's like you get
I don't
1
know,
or 2 maximum. You know what I'm saying?
It's sort of a dance because the 3 for 3s only work because of the number of 1 for 1s that you can play in concert with them, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying though is that like 2 for 2s are cool, but you can only play so many. You can't fill out a whole deck with 2 for 2s anymore. You can't play a 2 for 2 scheme. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Counting your clan holding, you get like 6 to 7 2 for 2s, like holdings that cost 2 slots. And so what are they going to be? 3 is your clan holding, so now you get 1 more to pick,
Hey, Honored Sensei, and done.
and done. And so,
Or Shrine to Hachiman, yep.
or Shrine to
Or something
Hachiman.
like Temple of the Heavenly Crab, right? There's not a ton of them.
Right, and so if I want to play something like my defenses card, like I've got to make some hard choices to get that into the deck.
Yeah. It's funny too because I've slowly been moving away from 3 for 3s, right? I mean, I've become this like here's Remote Temple plus Temple of Destiny plus Questionable Market plus Keeper kind of guy.
There's some stuff to look into because Forgotten Legacy is so powerful and it's always
Yeah,
there.
just keeping
So
it. Just,
you could play a lot of
oh,
like
and the
1 for 1s and
format
2 for 2s, and you still
starting a little
have
fast.
your
Yep.
big 5 gold first turn. You know, it might be worth looking into. Anyway, that's holdings. Enough talk. Blah blah blah. Comments. Jesse Paul. Blah blah. See you next time.